Hey, welcome back. I'm joined by Evan here, replacing Matthew, and we'll be walking you through round 2 for the treasure hunt event, which will be between Melvin and Zachary Kelly. Melvin K versus Zachary Kelly. Melvin K, of course, a very well-established player in our community.
Notably, he won our Singapore Nationals last year and represented Singapore to qualify for Worlds.
Yes. I mean, Zach Kelly is no slouch as well. He's also been quite prominent in the community. Not as well decorated as Melvin, shall we say, but nonetheless, still a solid player. So I'll be quite interested to see the match between both of them. We see here...
First of all, no Dondozo.
Yeah, okay. I'm honestly disappointed. I'd like to see Don Donzo at least once on the stream. Preferably not two. One will do.
Yeah.
One will do.
We will see how it goes along the way. But the teams here are very interesting because there are
Zach Kelly's team on the right, we do see the Murkrow, Azumario, Hydreigon, Golden Go, Rotom Heat, and Garchomp.
To me, that feels like a pretty early meta team where that Murkrow, Godengo, and Garchomp core.
Definitely more good stuff.
Yeah.
We do see Melvin's team with the Sylveon, the Palafin, Indeedee female, Salamence, the Amarouche, and the Garchomp. Definitely also does have good stars feel, but there is a very obvious combo of the Indeedee with the Amarouche there. Setting up the Psychic Terrain, setting up for Expanding Force, and Trick Room does benefit Amarouche as well, because Amarouche does have a pretty middling speed. But okay, because we do have open team sheets, we can see and say that Amarouche does have weak armor, which is not an ability commonly seen on Amarouche. Most Amarouche tend to run Flash Fire with a Grass Terra to abuse it, but weak armor could potentially be counteractive to a Trick Room kind of playstyle, because you don't want to be fast under Trick Room.
True.
You want to be slow as possible.
Yeah, I've also noticed that some of the Amarouche last time purposely run Flash Fire because there are a lot of Torkoal around, but now Torkoal seems to be less common, therefore this adjustment seems to be adapted by quite a lot of high ladder players in Japan.
Volcarona has been on the rise, so Flash Fire I still think still has value, but you're right, fire attacks have been dropping off, so perhaps that's the switch to weak armor, but again, like I said, with a Trick Room playstyle, you don't really want to be using weak armor. We do see a Sylveon Indeedee versus Hydreigon Garchomp here, double dragons against, well, I mean, Indeedee looks a bit fairy-ish, so I would say double fairies, but Sylveon does threaten both here, and we do see him go for the Hyper Voice. Indeedee is going to preferably follow me, I guess. No reason to set. Actually, Trick Room here would be good as well.
True, and for those who are new and have played Sword and Shield, coming into Scarlet and Violet, there's a sort of a bug in the game where Indeedee learns Trick Room now. You can get it only from a raid, but it is actually allowed in official tournaments, therefore we allow it in our tournament. And I was about to say that there could be some like terrestrial strategies here, because Sylveon clearly threatens both mons with Hyper Voice, so we do see that Steel Terra coming out.
Yes, we do see the Earthquake here. Of course, since Hydreigon does have Levitate, we'll ignore the Earthquake, and with the Protect, Sylveon will be the only one taking damage from this attack. How much does he take? Quite a sizable chunk. Hydreigon should be able to finish it off with a super effective Flash Cannon here. I had expected the Indeedee to go for a Follow me here, but Sylveon is actually faster than the Hydreigon and lands the Hyper Voice on the Garchomp. Not quite killing it, but still a very good chunk of damage there. Pro Spray will boost the special attack.
I think Hydreigon moved.
Hydreigon moved. It actually targeted the Indeedee actually.
So that was a read, like a call from Melvin.
I think that was a misplay. I mean, you go for the Flash Cannon on the Sylveon anytime, even if you predict that the Indeedee is going for the Follow Me. The real threat, honestly, is the Sylveon. So it feels that Zach kind of missed the ball.
Yeah, and Melvin kind of got the upper hand there with that like smart protect, and he actually worked out.
That's unnecessary damage that Zach took. Now he's going to Terra the Sylveon.
I think maybe he protected the Indeedee as well, right? Because there's a chance Zach will call that the Indeedee wants to set up Trick Room, you know? Therefore, targeting into the Indeedee in this situation, this environment might be a thing to do. So Melvin actually got the read right.
Okay, Sylveon does go for the protect here. Indeed, and we do see another Earthquake.
No reason not to Earthquake.
Yeah. And then at this point, does Zach target does he make the right call and goes for the Indeedee here? Because if you guys go for the Indeedee, it goes for Draco Meteor, which will not affect the Indeedee since it is now an actual fairy. So and then Indeedee does set up Trick Room here.
Man, so you were saying, yeah, Melvin's team does seem to have that Trick Room element to it, and he really gets.
He had gone for
set it up.
flash cannon there. He had gone for flash cannon on the DD. I mean,
you could see in the open team sheets, right? But you had to make that read whether Melvin wants to find value in this random Terra. Like, you would tend to Terra something that has more offensive power, but here he's actually Terraing the Indeedee just to set up Trick Room. And
I mean, Sylvan is gonna love the Trick Room, that's for sure. But Hydreigon still is still typing. Is not going to really care so much about the Sylvan. You do see Garchomp actually going to retreat here, and Azumarill is going to come in. Should take Hyper Voice relatively well. Azumarill does have good special defense. We do see Follow Me here. So, probably maybe going to take a Flash Cannon. There's no reason for Hydreigon to lock itself into any other move. Decent chunk of the Hydreigon here, and we do see Flash Cannon.
So, I think the strategy is to keep, from Melvin's end, I think the strategy is to keep the Sylveon alive. Oh, but
not quite
we really
enough.
wanted we actually wanted the Indeedee to go down there, then we bring in another Trick Room Sweeper.
Honestly,
pressure.
I think Melvin is fine either way. Yeah, you're right, if the Indeedee goes down, he can bring another Trick Room Sweeper, perhaps the Armor Rouge. But Indeedee living another turn means that Sylveon gets to fire off, more Hyper Voice with the Follow Me support. That's at least one more attack that he's gonna take. Azumarill is slower than Hydreigon, so perhaps not the attack, because once Indeedee goes down to Azumarill attack, then Hydreigon will be free to fire off a Flash Cannon into Sylveon.
I'll be curious to see if the Azumarill actually moves first before the Sylveon. Like because the Azumarill has a lower base speed than the Sylveon, so let's see how it goes. Hydreigon goes for the protect here. Indeedee actually still keeps him honest and go for the Follow Me.
Yes.
Just to protect the Sylveon as much as he can.
No reason not to. You do see another Hyper Voice.
Sylveon moves first.
Under Trick Room. So I think the faster. Oh, Ice Spinner here does clear Psychic Terrain, so we'll pick off the Indeedee.
That's cool because it unlocks like the Aqua Jet for the next turn.
Does he have Aqua Jet is the question. Let's take a look see. He does, yes. Might be relevant later on. I don't think Sylvan is within Aqua Jet kill range at this point. You see Armor Rouge gonna come in here. Maybe another 2 more turns of Trick Room.
Yeah, I think Melvin has very precious Trick Room turns left. Actually, Zach also should know that this Armor Rouge is weak armor, so might not want to attack into it with a physical attack. But I think the Aqua Jet might be a useful move into it since it can be a 2.
I think you go for Aqua Jet into Armor. You give it speed, and then it'll be slower. You'll be slower under Trick Room. Oh, sorry, you'll move last. Actually, goes for Aqua Jet into Sylveon here. Another Hyper Voice will pick up Hydreigon KO on Hydreigon and Azumarill here. Hydreigon actually went for the double attack, which failed. So Zach gambling a bit there, didn't pay off. I felt he could have gone for the Aqua Jet of Armor Rouge.
Yeah. So trying his best, knowing that the Sylveon's Hyper Voice should take out the Hydreigon, so goes for that double protect just to stall out 1 more turn of Trick Room.
Yes.
That could give him an upper hand with the 2 Pokemon in the back, but now he is forced to send out 2 Pokemon. Actually, he reveals that he brings Murkrow in this game.
And Garchomp. Garchomp is not very healthy. This is not a very good situation here for Zach. And even worse, Garchomp does not have Protect, so it will have to weather 1 more turn of attacks from Sylveon under Trick Room here. Oh, it does? Oh, no. I was looking at Melvin K's Garchomp. My bad. Okay, so it will survive, but I do see a quick attack here. So, Garchomp, quite pinned, I would say. Unless Murkrow goes for Tailwind here, anticipating the Trick Room to run out and for Garchomp to potentially outspeed. But with the review of quick attack here, Garchomp will not survive, I believe, next turn. You see Armor Cannon as well. Second Armor Cannon whip off Murkrow, and well, Melvin will take game 1, it seems.
True, and then we think all the way back to the first few turns where Zach used the Terra on the Hydreigon, then now it could be more beneficial.
I felt honestly the Steel Terra on Hydreigon was the right play. He should have gotten more out of it. Is what I would say.
Maybe go for Flash Cannon instead of just Draco.
If he had gotten if he had picked out a KO on Sylveon at the very first turn when Indeedee went for the protect instead of I mean, I guess he guessed wrong that Indeedee is going for the Trick Room setup. Then he guessed wrong again, or not really guessed wrong, but the Indeedee's Terra into Fairy type really nullified his Draco Meteor attacks. So The Steel Terra was, I feel, the right play, just that he didn't get much out of it. You'll see the Murkrow foul play here, will pick off Armor Rouge.
Interesting card that Murkrow did 2 foul plays into the Armor Rouge and managed to take it out. And Murkrow actually outsped the Armor Rouge in Tailwind. Even after the Armor Rouge got that weakness policy plus the...
Murkrow is relatively fast. Sylveon will win the game here for Melvin, so we have to see how Zach adjusts. Actually, I do like Zach's lead at the start. The Garchomp Hydreigon combination, or the Earthquake into the Hydreigon's Levitate. Hydreigon threatening the Sylveon.
That just shows why it's so prevalent in the early meta, because it's quite easy to click buttons.
I guess Melvin flexing why he's the national champion. He's able to maneuver the situation to his benefit. And looking at how the game played out, Armor Rouge with weak armor actually does sort of make sense. If you can time the hits on your Armor Rouge, the physical hits on your Armor Rouge to be just when Trick Room runs out. Then once Trick Room runs out, Armor Rouge will still have a speed advantage. But it's really finicky, I would say. It's not easy to pull off.
Would you think that, like, on that turn, maybe that Aqua Jet into the Armor Rouge could have helped?
That's what I thought so too. That you go into the Aqua Jet and the Armor Rouge, you trigger his weak armor, make it faster, therefore move last in Trick Room. But at that point, upon considering, I don't think it mattered because
Sylveon is still there and still kicking Hyper Voice.
Yes, and Azumarill was like at 25% health. Hydreigon survived very long with his Steel Terra typing, but he had Life Orb Recoil. It took at least 2 or 3 Hyper Voices. It was also down to 25%. At that point in time, it was too little, too late already. He didn't have his Pokemon didn't have the strength to keep fighting on.
So for Zach, really needs to go back to the drawing board and figure out.
I mean,
what better.
That's the dilemma.
Yeah.
Honestly, Garchomp Hydreigon, I will still stand by that lead. It's a pretty solid lead. It's just that the plays happen where to him that were not favorable. So it becomes a bit of a dilemma for him. Do I stick to my Hydreigon Garchomp and try to play better, or do I try to go for something else, which is well, in this matchup a bit untested. Again, I guess I'm not sure. I mean, Melvin initially selected the same setup of Sylveon in DD, but I believe he switched it up in the last moment. I know why Zach lost. He didn't update his DP.
He used
just the default picture. Okay, we do see a switch up here. Golden Go Azumarill.
Wow.
In DD Mans here, so no Sylveon.
Yeah.
I mean, pretty obvious play here for Zach, which is to Ice Spinner away Psychic Terrain. Opens up Aqua Jet perhaps later on, and there's a very, very nice 4 times Ice weak target for Ice Spinner to go into as well.
Yeah, but then again, the Indeedee is just helping so much in protecting all the powerful attackers from Melvin's side.
Indeedee generally
always threatens that
yeah.
Follow Me, even threatens like the Trick Room now.
Generally, Follow Me support is a very good support move. Indeedee brings more value with Psychic Terrain, blocking priority fake outs, blocking. I mean, priority is not so much of a threat in this meta, but there are some, such as Aqua Jet, we can see here, and fake out. Mance is going to retreat, not wanting to take the Ice Spinner that is coming its way. And Armor Rouge will be the one that comes in, so will trigger weak armor. Golden goes for Nasty Plot here. Okay, that's nice setting up. And Indeedee actually goes for Psychic here, so not even going for Follow Me or Trick Room. I mean, it makes sense, the Mance is tricking out. Decent, a bit of damage onto the Azumarill here. And we do see weak armor proc. And I think this is the value. Yeah, now Melvin does not have, it's not incentivized to go for Trick Room at all. His Armor Rouge is fast.
All set up.
Can Armor Cannon down Golden Go if he wants. Golden Go of course can protect. But there's that beautiful support of Indeedee's Follow Me away.
But the one thing is that this weakness policy is not proc, because although it's hit by a physical attack, it only gets its speed up.
Yes, I think that's more than enough. Armor Rouge arm cannon is basically a fire type close combat.
But there's the Aqua Jet coming in, right? So
again into the Armor Rouge. Well, yeah, he fears it. He's going for the protect. No Psychic Terrain. Perhaps he's going to switch in Indeedee again next turn. Wouldn't go also going for the protect. So yeah, Zach has to watch out for the Sylveon switching out into Liquidation actually predicts the switch out perhaps, or going for predicting the protect actually goes for the Sylveon slot. So not a wasted turn here for Zach. But he has to bear in mind that Aqua Jet into Armor Rouge is not a very strong play, considering Indeedee can switch in and set up the terrain again.
Being one game down, I thought just now that the liquidation play was kind of cool.
Yeah, that's why we do say Zach is a pretty strong player as well. Maybe not on the same caliber as Melvin, maybe the same, but definitely a strong player. You do see a Terra here into Armor Rush.
Oh,
No switches actually.
yep.
Oh, okay, that's one way to remove your water weakness. Dark typing, interesting.
Melvin playing a lot of mind games here, like kind of forcing Zach to restrict the things that he can do.
Dark typing actually also useful against Godengo, because Godengo does have Ghost Step. We do see a blind Godengo. Okay, removes the fire weakness also. So
There's
that's
also removes like the ghost weakness.
ground weakness as well, yeah. Sylveon goes for the quick attack here into his own Armor Rouge, boosting the speed even more.
Oh my god.
A bit of overkill if you ask me. I believe a +2 would have been enough to outspeed everything.
I think it was purely...
Oh, it's to trigger the weakness policy, there you go. That's the combination with the Terra.
Could be cool, yeah. We get to see it in action now.
+2.
Going into neutral Godengo.
It's enough to KO. It's essentially a nasty
Super
plot.
strong, yeah. At the same time, Godengo, remember in turn 1 it set up that nasty plot,
Yes.
so very unfortunate that isn't able to...
For sure.
So I think this we see the power of this quick attack strategy. Right?
Oh, but liquidation here, going to Armor Rouge will be able to pick up the KO.
Basically trading mons, but I think the Armor Rouge just did its job. The Godengo is quite a good target to remove.
I would say...
So forcing it to be 3v3 now.
I would say the trades were actually pretty even because both committed a Terra, both lost the Terra. Yes, you're right that Godengo committed to Nasty Plot, but Melvin committed to sort of pseudo Nasty Plot with the quick attack weakness policy move. So we do see Azumarill against Mans again. Well, and a Rotom hit coming in here for Zach. So now both players without Terra options. And I guess we'll see whether Sylveon can clean up with Hyper Voice. Mans is going to switch out. Ooh, in DD again. Perhaps
Yeah,
the last Psychic Rain, yeah.
One thing to note, right, is also that Azumarill has been intimidated twice.
Oh, that is
He's
true.
quite powerful doing all those liquidations, so quite impressive, but now he's in a strange position whereby he really needs to do and have value. Well, that's useful, that could be helpful for Zach there.
Yeah.
See, -2, not enough now.
For sure, but and Sylveon does not get fully paralyzed, goes for Hyper Voice here. But I mean, we do say Azumarill has been nerfed in terms of attack, but oh, look at that special bulk, man. Trospay will boost Sylveon's special attack, but with paralysis, I guess now this is the power again of the EDD. The follow me is going to protect EDD from all the single target attacks that are going to be flying its way, and EDD is really healthy as well.
Curious
Going for protect, okay.
I'm curious to see what's the last mon on Zach's side, like whether it's worth it to switch Azumarill out so that it can come back. Maybe Ice Spinner comes out here, it could be helpful to remove Indeed's psychic power.
EDD going for psychic here, oh that's nice.
Pretty decent damage.
We'll trigger the berry here on the Rotom. I mean, it could be Hydreigon or Garchomp at the end of Zach. You see Ice Spinner will land onto the EDD, so we'll remove the Psychic Terrain once again. Honestly, Melvin has to be a bit careful. His last Pokemon is Salamence. He has to try to get rid of Azumarill because as seen, the Ice Spinner is a threat to his Mans.
It feels like Zach is has also made the adjustment to bring Rotom instead of possibly the Murkrow, and the Rotom proves to be very bulky in front of these two Pokemon. Being able to take the Hyper Voices.
If only he had a spread attack on the Rotom, then the Sylveon would, not be so threatening now. You'll see it go for another Hyper Voice. No full paralysis again. Azumarill will hang on barely again. I think the reason why Zach is not switching out the Azumarill to reach that attack is because he has a Dragon at the back, which I think is Garchomp. Which will be a smart combination with the Rotom Meditate and will definitely pick off Sylveon. He has to be a bit wary because Garchomp I don't think will enjoy being intimidated. We do see overheat here, not quite enough to pick up the EDD. We'll drop the special attack as well.
Zach seems to be going all in, really wants to remove at least one Pokemon with the field.
He does so with the liquidation here from the Azumarill. And Hyper Voice will pick up the KO on Azumarill. Rotom now at -2 special attack as well.
If it's Garchomp in the back, then the Salamence will intimidate it as well. So,
Yes.
I think Melvin did play carefully and also in the last few turns really kind of preserve the indie, to keep it on the field and keep the Salamence safe in the back. And
Yes.
true enough, the Garchomp comes in here.
And if the Sylveon doesn't get fully paralyzed, he can do one Hail Mary quick attack to get a cheeky attack on the Garchomp here. Perhaps put it in range of the Mance's Dragon Claw. Mance can Dragon Dance as well.
Interesting. We're actually playing very honest VGC now. Like back to 2015, 2016, 2015,
Yeah,
yeah.
and that is definitely
No Terra, so both Terras have been wasted.
yes. No, I mean,
Used up.
used up.
I bet.
Definitely in the Melvin strong suit, I guess.
True.
Predictions. You see, Man's going for protect.
Oh.
Not going for Dragon Dance. Is he at least going for a quick attack on Sylveon? No. Not yet. Perhaps Rotom going for the protect. And Sylveon goes for protect. Okay. We do see an earthquake here. I'm not sure what Melvin.
Yeah, what the protect was for, huh?
It would have been bad if the Sylveon got fully paralyzed.
Yeah, and also in hindsight, he baited the Rotom's protect. Because, naturally you should know that a Salamence is faster than the Rotom. So that could have worked in Melvin's favor with that play. I think that's how I could make sense of it.
Well, regardless,
It's like the moment of truth, you just need to click buttons, but click it right and
Sylveon's not been fully paralyzed so far. Wonder whether his streak will continue.
yeah.
Garchomp, Rotom going for another
that makes
protect.
sense.
Okay, actually no, it doesn't. Sylveon goes for protect again.
Dude, the paralysis!
Yes, ayo.
Ayo, Melvin,
Garchomp
what?
goes for Earthquake here, which is not the right move since Sylveon protected. Mance is going to get off a Dragon Dance, or it's going to kill the Rotom, or it's going to hit the Garchomp with Dragon Claw.
But true enough, Melvin understood that the Garchomp really wanted to remove the Sylveon.
Yeah.
But
But let's not miss words here. Melvin got lucky.
yeah,
And Zach was not lucky at all.
true. He tried his best though. I think this game 2 was much closer than what happened in game
Sylveon
1.
goes for the protect again. Garchomp will finally pick it off with Earthquake.
Does
But-
Garchomp have...
But Mance, I think, will win the war.
Garchomp is the Haban berry, so does...
Yes, but Garchomp has also been intimidated.
Yeah.
In terms of trade, Mance will pick up a KO again with his subsequent Dragon Claw.
So now I guess it comes to Garchomp to crit these elements, and if the crit gets it...
No, what are you talking about? He's not been lucky, he won't be lucky again.
Oh man. Yeah, so based on that, there is, if the crit gets it, Zach wins. So Zach keeps going and then goes for that out.
Honestly, the Sylveon double protect won. If he didn't, the Haban Berry will come in
True,
front,
true.
and Zack would have won that Dragon V Dragon at the end. So, unfortunately, it seems that luck still does play a part in DGC.
Yeah.
Fortunately or unfortunately,
That's why I don't play that much nowadays.
and we have to bear in mind that throughout the entire game, as well, Sylveon was not fully paralyzed.
Yeah.
So, Melvin, let's not downplay Melvin's strengths as a player
He
here.
knew that those were the steps that he needed to win that second game.
Yes.
Because if not, if one thing went wrong, right, then I think the attrition would make his mons go down faster. The Salamence would come in earlier. Then the Garchomp in the back from Zack would have won the game.
I mean, again, looking now at Melvin's team, to dissect it even further, it's even more finicky because you want to set up. You have the Dark type Terra to set up your Amarouche with the Sylveon's quick attack. But you can't do that if you have Psychic Terrain.
Yeah.
He was, I guess, fortunate that what helped him was that Zack Kelly's Azumarill had Ice Spinner to clear away Psychic Terrain for him, so that he could pull off the play of the so-called pseudo nasty plot, Weakness Policy, quick attack. But it's just so troublesome. Like you have to manage so many things. Your own terrain can block your own setup as well. It's a very, I would say, a very interesting thing.
idea. Yeah. And maybe it works out. There are some matchups where you don't have to bring the Indeedee because it seems like in this team the Indeedee is the specialized trick room setter. Because the Admiral does not have trick room. So to me that's unique and I'm curious to see whether this team that Melvin built can go far in the tournament.
It's for sure. I mean, it's a bit unfortunate. I felt that Zack's team was a bit more solid. Definitely, I guess that's the power of Indeedee, honestly. Follow me in support is just so good.
Danvia says you can target your teammate in Psychic Terrain. That's true.
Huh.
Oh yeah.
Okay, that is not as finicky as I thought it was. Thank you, Nanavir, for that.
Always,
insightful.
yeah. Thanks, Nanavir, as always.
Okay, so it's not so finicky. So then it's even better.
Yeah.
It's even better.
Wow.
Okay. Well, end result 2-0. Melvin wins. Zach still, I believe, has opportunity to make it all the way to top card.
Yeah, both players came into this game 1-0. Yeah.
So if he manages, I believe, to win the next 4, which is definitely possible for him, he will have a chance to go to top card. I think Melvin is also a favourite to enter top card, so this is probably not the last time we'll see the team here. Okay, that said, I believe we'll be taking a short break as we prepare for round 3.
I just want to say that the atmosphere is very nice here. First ever tour, actually, we got so many players, 36 players, so
Well,
very nice to see everyone come.
generally, always the trend has been that the first tournament of every single new game has always garnered the most response. Honestly, it's a bit disappointing that we didn't reach 3 digits in terms of player turnout, but this is still pretty good. Okay, so we'll see you for round 3.